Who are you?
Your worst nightmare. Hello and welcome back to Brick On. My name is Brittany and today we are doing a movie review for Disney's live-action Mulan. Mulan is a classic tale of a woman joining China's imperial army to save her father from certain death. However, in doing so, she risks revealing her strong connection to her qi, a trait for women that could have them exiled or even killed. Here's the thing, Disney's Aladdin is probably the only one that even comes close to how excited I was for Disney's live-action Mulan. And even then, there is a huge gap. But as a lifelong Mulan fan, has the live-action movie met my expectations? Look, we can't review a Disney live-action without going back and referring to the original animation. And I actually feel like this is more so true with Disney's Mulan, even though it's not a musical. Even with the addition and investigation into Qi and Xianglang, who is the Falcon. The strength of this movie really comes from the music motifs that they've pulled from the animated film. For example, there is an incredibly powerful moment where Mulan has succeeded in an incredible physical feat. And as she embraces her success, the melody for Reflection plays with the soundtrack. This simple moment creates a really fascinating duality between the live action and the animation. Because the meaning from the animation is about her trying to conform into what society wants from her. And then the meaning from the live action is Mulan discovering who she can be beyond those societal restrictions. Not every moment that is referring back to the animated movie is as powerful as this one. Some of those lines include references to a girl worth fighting for and make a man out of you, and sometimes this, as well as some of the exposition, it's a bit on the nose. But I guess this is somewhat forgivable because it's a way that it can pay homage to where it came from, as well as work with this younger audience. And I could certainly look into the visual and auditory significance littered throughout this movie, but I also have to acknowledge where it has fallen short. The best storytelling advice I ever got was start with a bang, end with a bang, and get away with murder in the middle. But it seems to me that Mulan has done the opposite to this, filling its middle with the most powerful moments. For example, Mulan's village at the start of the film, it doesn't feel real. To me, it's more like a stage set, and I really don't think this is forgivable when you put it alongside the amazing locations they show in the middle of the film. Unfortunately, and I do think this is a bit nitpicky, I think the Emperor was dubbed over, and whatever the ADR issues or sound issues were for this, it just pulled me from the story. It was a bit distracting. And I'm not entirely sold on the idea of introducing Qi as an element to this story. It was good that it wasn't a Mulan specific ability, and there was a reflection. There is like so much symbolism between her and Xianglang, which created a very interesting element to investigate. However, I did miss the natural struggle that Mulan went through in the animated movie, because she was nothing special. She was just a woman who wanted to bring honor to her family in the only way she knew how. And I think that's very powerful when it's simplified like that. We can argue that honesty and honor is quite heavy-handed in this movie and is a part of some of the worst exposition points. But in using these elements, the director never lost focus as to what was important to Mulan. There are moments between her and her love interest, Hong Hui, that just spoke volumes without any dialogue. And although this is something I think that she would pursue, and I'm not trying to devalue the relationships that are built in true love Disney stories, the movie never lost focus of her original goal and her priority. Her family. Mulan could have had quite a dramatic first kiss with Hong Hui, but the writers didn't lose focus of this. And I think that's really important. So although not a perfect film, the live action Mulan carries some amazing references to its counterpart and does have interesting investigations into new elements. I also think it would be very interesting to analyze this movie from a cultural and historical point. Both aspects I will not pretend to have knowledge on, but then also the motifs and the music that comes through associated with those visuals. I think there's a lot that you can break down from this movie. Now, to get a little bit serious, I don't think it would be right to review this movie without at least recognizing the humanitarian aspects behind the production. But I've got to acknowledge that I am really naive to this. I don't fully understand the scope of everything that's going on. However, I would be very disappointed if Disney didn't take into account where they were filming and the humanitarian issues that are happening in those locations. With that said, it's your turn. What references did you pick up? Did you have any favorites? Did you freak out as much as I did when Ming-Na Wen appeared? It's freaking Ming-Na Wen! So as always, thank you so much for watching. My name is Brittany and you have been watching Brick Girl. Like Scoob, there's like so much symbolism, man.